Today, I decided to share on something that I'm noticing in my life. I'm feeling a little more distracted than I've ever been. Anybody else watching just what's going online, like in the last 4 weeks with AI? Besides all the stuff going on in the world, besides what's going on in Iran and all the craziness in politics and all that stuff, it's distracting, right? So today, I'd like to talk about protecting your future by protecting your attention. The world has been changing since the beginning of time. Can't we agree? Imagine what it felt like when electricity first came out. People probably lost their mind. The first time you could pick up a phone and talk to somebody. When our cell phones came out, when the internet came out. Of course, AI is exponentially growing faster than any of it, right? But throughout time, all of those things have created disruption. All of those things have created uncertainty. We just live at a time where it's instant. Like, as soon as the craziness happens, it's in our phone, it's pushed to us. Our phone beeps, our world beeps. And it comes at us so quick. But here's my belief. We are the first generation. We are the only generation for the end of time that lived before artificial intelligence and will live after artificial intelligence, right? It is almost impossible for us to keep up with what's going on. There's something new every single day. And the reason I'm sharing this is because it's cumulative. Something distract you with politics, something distract you in life, all the changes going on with AI, and then all of a sudden you're not focusing on the things that can really move the needle in your life. And then you think through time, people have been, no matter what technology came out, no matter what changes, people still thrive. They still become successful. They still overcome. Raise your hand if you've surfed or ever watched anybody surf. When you see a wave come, do you ever notice they all jump up? And some of them ride the wave. It is their best friend. They get in front of it and it pushes them out in front of everybody else. But you ever notice there's a bunch of people who paddle too late? They're like, should I take that wave? Is that a good wave? Is that wave gonna get big? Oh, it's a good wave. And they start paddling and the wave goes underneath them. So how do we become the people that know which wave to focus on and how to get out in front of it? Instead of thinking, how do I understand all this AI or how do I be technical if I'm not? It's different than that. I think what we need to do is get rid of the distractions. We have to decide what is important to us. What should we be consuming? There's screens everywhere. There's social media nonstop. There's notifications, there's messages, there's emails, there's texts, there's everybody in your ear. But here's what I realized. Focus isn't something you have. It's something we have to protect. Because more and more stuff is gonna come. We can't stop that. If we have a system where we're trying to bring in too much, then our focus goes into little buckets and we only go an inch deep on multiple things. Man, that is probably the definition of overwhelm. And if we don't create a framework or a structure to get this under control now, it's gonna get way worse. Anybody ever work all day and get home and feel like you were unproductive? Is that just me? Is that just me? Thank you guys for being as honest as I'm trying to be today, right? You hustle, you go all day, and then you get home, you're like, what did I actually do? And here's the thing, most distractions don't look like distractions. They wear a disguise. They look like responsibility. They look like they're urgent, maybe even necessary in the moment to fix. But sometimes they're reactive requests, just dressed up to be important in the moment. Ever be in a flow, you're getting some stuff done and somebody sends you something and it disturbs you or it feels like an urgent request and you feel like you gotta do it in that moment and it gets you out of the flow and then you answer the question, then you come back, you're like, where was I? I'll try to pick it up tomorrow. How do we defend from that? If you don't decide what to focus on, the people around you and the world will. Every day, I try to choose at least one needle mover. One thing that moves me forward in my life. One thing that'll move my business. You could do 2, you could do 5, you could do 10 if you want, but you gotta have at least one that is not reactive. It's not just overcoming the constraint. It's not just solving the problem. It's just not reacting to the people who need your attention. It is something that today, if I get this done, it will move me forward. Put it in the chat. What's one thing, if you accomplished it today, would move you forward? Not change your life, not get it all done. Just one thing. Robert, thank you. Make phone calls, Vicky. Robert says, create a lead magnet. Set up a website, getting taxes done. Look at all these great things. Podcast, taxes, follow-up, social media. Start my book. What if you just started a habit and said, today, no matter what happens, I'm gonna start my book. Today. And just say, but I don't want to go too far today. All I'd love to do is create the introduction or the first chapter. But all I'm saying is momentum creates momentum, doesn't it? Like the blank page sometimes is the hardest thing. I gotta start the book. I gotta start the book. All you need is a spark. You need to choose that needle mover you're gonna do today. Who in here has got a constraint or something holding them back on the thing they'd like to accomplish? Go talk to AI today. Talk to Gigi, talk to ChatGPT, talk to Claude, whatever one you like using. If you don't have an account, go get one and just start today with, this is my goal, this is my constraint. Do you think you could help me think through it because I want to accomplish one thing today? If you complete one thing each day, it not only moves you forward, it becomes the momentum, it becomes the priority. And the clarity starts by just narrowing down what that one thing should be. The world's gonna fill the rest of your schedule up, that's a fact. But if you commit to the one thing, everything else should get evaluated against it. Let's just talk about time. What if you scheduled 60 minutes a day to just work on needle movers that are offensive? They're bringing you forward. So a lot of times it's putting out fires. A lot of times it's solving problems. The email, the text, the message. I get it. And I'm not saying that can all go away, but you could find 60 minutes. What if it's even just 30? And in that 30 or 60, what if you did your best not to look at your inbox, not to hear the notifications, to shut the door, to not be distracted, to don't let the news come in. This is your hour. Treat it like it's an important meeting with your future self. But realize that we do have reactive and proactive ways of looking at life. Sometimes we're playing goalie, and sometimes we get the chance to score goals. I think we're in the most reactive time in history. But think about your day. Proactive would be, I'm gonna have a good day. I have intention for a good day. I'm gonna move the needle forward. I'm gonna get the first draft done. I'm gonna get the first module done. I'm gonna get the first chapter done. Whatever that is, think of the ideal proactive day. Like, think of someone who has zero stress. They get to meditate for 2 hours in the morning. Like, think of the extreme proactive day. Then I want you to think about how our days turn into. And I mean it. The reason this is coming out of my heart and my soul today, this morning I got up and wrote down about 20 things I need to get done today. And I looked at this list today and I'm like, there is not one thing that moves me forward today. And there is no way I can get all this done today. And it felt deflating. If you really think about your week, how much of your week is spent in reactive mode versus proactive mode? And here's the other problem. If you spend too much time in reactive mode, when you have a moment, you know what you do? You go binge out on Netflix, or you swipe up for 3 hours because you spent the whole day just looking backwards and solving shit that just kept coming your way, and you get good at it. But when are you gonna be proactive to live into you? You gotta force time to push yourself forward. It doesn't happen on its own. It doesn't magically give you time back. You have to fight for this time, and it's worth it. If you share right now, honest and truly, on a split, the first one is reactive, proactive. Put it in the chat right now just so other people can see how your days are. 80% reactive, 90, 100%, 90. Look at this, 90, 80, 80, 90, 90, 50, 80, 60, 80, 90, 100, 90. Yeah, I get it. It happened to me today. But once you call it out, isn't that the first step? Again, I know some of you have so much stuff coming in. I'm not saying you gotta fight against reality. Just design it a little differently. Protect that time. Protect it for the thing that moves you forward. We can be in the creative mode, as we talked about, or we could be in the manager mode. Just schedule both windows. Find out when your best version of you exists, and save that hour or that 2 hours or that 90 minutes for this kind of thinking. Momentum lives when you're in control of your day. I like managing a day because if you go micro, then the week becomes good, the month becomes good, the year becomes good. So how are you gonna manage your days? Instead of switching tasks, create a parking lot. I always have a pen, I always have my journal next to me, wherever I'm at. So when it comes in, I just put a parking lot. I want to get it out of my head. It's taking up space. So you can't be 100% over here because this thing that someone asked you to do is taking up space. So for me, it's like, oh, that's good. I got to get that done for her. Let me write it down. That'll be the first thing I do after this. Boom, it's out of your head. It's in the parking lot. Your brain doesn't need to solve it in the moment. It just needs to know that you won't forget it. And then return to the creative block that you're working on. If you're in the middle of your day, even in the reactive part of your day, and you're getting stuff done, and all of a sudden it just feels heavy, like, what do I do right now? Do I do this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, or this thing? Here's what I'd say, pause for 2 minutes. Deep breath, and do a full brain dump. Everything that's on your mind. And again, if we fit in the needle mover every day, I promise you, your body reacts in a different way. You know you're moving forward. So this is deeper than just building a business. This is about feeling like you're making, here's the word, progress. We are alive when we feel progress. But when you're in this window of creativity, try to stay focused on one thing. Don't bounce into others. If you've got 3 or 4 things that you want to solve, spend the hour on going deep on one thing and solving the constraints of that one thing. Go deep. And if you need to, create boundaries. Write them down. Don't let other projects get in the way. Don't check your email. Don't look at your text message. Don't look at the news. Don't answer. Give yourself a little rule card, put it on the table, and say, this hour, I'm following these rules. You go to reach for your phone, go, no, I can't do that. Go to check your email, no, I'm not doing that right now. Focus. And for those of you who are like my wife, and you always put everybody first, which is probably a lot of you, first off, amazing, love you. Grateful, but not a bad time to be a little selfish in that hour or 90 minutes a day. It's yours. If you're selfish now, you will have more time for your family or the things you want to do later. I don't mean selfish as a human, selfish with that time. We're not going to create anything with 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. We got to go deep. And in today's world with AI at your fingertips, you can do a lot in an hour. We could do 10 hours worth of work in an hour in today's world. And the other thing I would say, take the last 3 or 4 minutes and write down the progress that you made during that time. A lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for what we accomplish. And when you start looking at that, you'll go, oh, no, I'm moving the needle. I'm making progress. We almost have to adapt a new identity. An identity of, I'm the type of person that spends at least an hour a day focusing on things that move me towards the man or the woman I'm meant to be, towards the business I'm supposed to have. That's just who I am.